So inshallah, briefly, if Abu Zar, if you can share the
yeah, I'll do that right now. See my screen?
yeah. So basically, firstly, alhamdulillah, if we all go back in reverse mode and go back to the time of February and March, and we all anticipating that we were gonna, when's the system gonna open? Then when the system opened, then who's gonna get through to phase 1, phase 2, phase 3? And I believe that the vast majority of us all, alhamdulillah, managed to secure a place. Then the following step was who are going to be our guides, which have been cleared. Then the other step was tickets. I believe everyone should by now have received a ticket. If they haven't, they need to contact us. I'm talking group flights here. Custom flights would have been issued a long time ago. So alhamdulillah, we've all got to this point. So the next journey is getting there, arriving there, what we need to do, what's going to take place. So the most important thing, number one, if we start with the first slide, is the first thing: passports, visa copies, tickets. On top of that, your ACWY meningitis certificates. These are like essential things that need to be with you. Also, your Hajj itinerary, what you've booked with the service provider, that should be printed out. And even if you can have passport copies, it's a good thing, or at least have them on your phone. Should be with you as well from here. Abuzar, if you can share the next screen.
You see the screen?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, passport, visa, ACWY certificates, Hajj itinerary. For those of you who are going to Makkah first, in your hand luggage, not your check-in luggage. Money bag, medication should be packed by now. Obviously, it's going to be extreme hot weather as well. And just your general medication that you need to be on the safe side. Power banks, walking shoes, flip flops. These are things that men will need. Women, for their ihram, is obviously the clothing that you wear is your ihram there. You just have to make niyyah for umrah, and that's that. So let's move on to the second slide. So for those who are going on group flights, now there has been a scenario where, for example, there were multiple flights to select at the time of booking. So obviously, if you had a guide, the guide can't be in 3 different airports at the same time. So sometimes the guide is flying on a different flight compared to the rest of you. So if he's flying from, let's say, from London Heathrow, someone's flying from Manchester, somebody's flying from Birmingham. But even on them group flights, we will have a guide who will be traveling. So it's best to, I think we've already shared it on the groups with the PNR numbers of the guide and the telephone number. Just contact them a few days before or contact them even now, just to say, look, you're not my guide for the package, but I'm flying with you on the same group, so they can get you, inshallah, to Makkah or to Medina, depending on where your arrival is first. Once, obviously, you arrive there, your guide that has been allocated to your package, he will be there in the hotel. He may be sleeping, he may be doing Umrah, but there will be MCDC staff at all the hotels present to check you in for the time that you arrive to the hotel. So I'm going to go back to the airport. So for the group flights, we're talking group flights here. Then I'll mention the custom flights as well. The group flights, meet your guide. It might not be the specific guide who's on your package, but it will be a guide traveling. So you can meet the group at the airport, contact him before. You don't need to wait at the airport for him. You can check in yourself with your family, or if you're traveling alone, then you can check in yourself. Once you've checked in, you go through the security. Once you go through security, just WhatsApp him your seat number, or just tell him, look, we'll meet you at the gate. Now, for those of you who are flying on Qatar, sorry, for those of you who are flying on Qatar Airlines from the UK, the connecting flight is very, very short. So I recommended this in the previous 2 webinars. it's good to have your bottom half of your ihram on, your slippers on, and wear a thobe or something on top. Keep the top half secured in a bag. Once you arrive at Doha, sorry, going back a step again, pray your nafil for Umrah before at either Heathrow Airport, Birmingham Airport, or you can even pray that from your house. But the intention is done obviously before Miqat. This is again, we've done I think up to 15 to 18 webinars with the scholars that we have on board. So the Miqat, before the Miqat has to be the intention of Umrah. So all you have to do at that point is before you make the intention, you take the thobe off and you basically put the top half on like a shawl. That's all you got to do then. You don't need to be worried that I need to get changed or anything like that, because you've already done that. You don't need to be worried if you need to pray your nawafil or anything like that, because you've already done that. You can either make intention in Doha, in Qatar, or you can make intention on the plane. They will make an announcement that the miqat is 10 minutes away, 20 minutes away. That's entirely up to you. Regarding the other group flights we have from the UK, it's Gulf Air and it's Egypt Airline. With that, you have more time to change. I think they're about 2-3 hours the stop. So in that, you have more time to change at the flights. Just 1 second. So for the Egypt flight and the Gulf flight, have your ihram, your flip flops, your bag in your hand luggage. So once you get into Egypt, once you get into in Doha, Bahrain, you can then get changed there. You can even pray your nafils there. They got prayer facilities there. They got wudu facilities there. So you don't need to panic having a short connection. So it's best if you do it there. Obviously you're going to be at this time with your group leader. You don't really need to, like, no one's saying that you're going to hold his hand, but he'll be there around you guys. So once you've done that, once you've got to your transit airport, you will then board the following flight to either Medina or to Jeddah, going to Makkah. So once you arrive there, he will arrange the transport. You just basically follow his orders, follow his points that he's going to mention. If he tells you to wait for a little while, you wait. He'll arrange that. Once the transport's arranged, you will arrive to your hotels in Makkah or Medina, where the rooms will be allocated. So you will get your rooms based on how the bookings have been made. Once you get your rooms, you check in as normal. The guide will then give you a time to do Umrah. So if for example, you wish to do Umrah yourself, like there's people who've done multiple Umrahs that are traveling with us, then you can go perform Umrah on your own accord. If you wish to go as a group, then you can stay with the guide and then you go with him, perform Umrah, come back to your hotel. So this is Makkah or Medina. Now in Medina, if you're landing in Medina, you're going to put the ihram on the day of departure. It's better to put it on from your hotel so you're ready. And they're going to stop at the miqat of Bir Ali, of the wells of Sayyidina Ali. There's a masjid there where you will make intention, pray nafal, and basically that bus, the coach will stop there. It's sunnah to do that. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ did that, leaving from Medina to Makkah. So you will do it there. Same again, once you arrive to your hotel, the MCDC staff plus your guide will be there, probably myself, I will be there. So we will check you guys in. Once you've been checked in, again, if you want to do Umrah according to yourself, you can do. If you didn't want to do Umrah according to yourself and you want to do it with the group leader, that there is no issues with that. Now, there's another question that's been raised multiple times. People have been messaging myself, is itinerary. The itinerary of Hajj is on your nusuk, what nusuk have provided. But I will go through the Ayyamul Hajj that most of you were asking for. So the 8th of Zilhijjah is the 14th of June. So as I mentioned previously, we will depart from Makkah al-Mukarramah, from the hotel to Mina on the 13th of June. We have to be ready after Isha within the vicinity of the hotel. So either we're in our rooms, either we're in a lobby, anywhere, but be around the vicinity of the hotel on the 13th of June after Salatul Isha prayer. Be ready. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be after prayer. It can even be after Fajr. It can even be 9 o'clock the next day on the 14th of June. But you just be ready. If you need to rest in your room. You won't be left behind. Obviously, we all have WhatsApp working. There'll be other people with you in your rooms as well. Or if you just want to sit around in the lobby or within the vicinity of the hotel, again, that's entirely up to you. Once the buses arrive, you'll be notified. You will be then leaving on the 14th June morning, 13 June night. So 13 June night, 14 June morning, you'll be leaving to Mina, inshallah. Now, for Mina, another question that's been asked multiple times, so I'm answering it, is what's going to be provided. Now, what's going to be the basic package that's provided within Mina is a sofa bed, is a pillow, is a blanket. So that's 100% guaranteed that every single person will receive. So every single person will have their own sofa bed, will have a pillow, will have a blanket. You will have your three times meals in Mina as well. Fluids are 24-hour available. Drinks, hot drinks, cold drinks, water, fruit, things like that are constantly available in Mina. So what do we need to take now? Going back to last year, we were provided additional things last year, the years before, and we're hoping to have the same provided this year. We don't have nothing in writing, so there's nothing us as guides can share with you. But I believe as we get closer to the days of Hajj, MCDC will share that with us, and we'll have clear and better clarification of what else will be provided. So last year, yes, we did have umbrellas. Last year, yes, we did have sleeping bags in Muzdalifah, and this was something that were given to us, and inshallah, we're hoping this year it will be the same. So that's that. So once we leave Mina, the coaches will come. The whole reason I've just mentioned what I've just mentioned is that what do you need to take with you? So we need to take as light as possible. Me, myself, I would say rucksack is sufficient for everyone. Obviously, certain people have medical conditions, things like that. That's different. That's understandable. So that's fine. But travel as light as possible, because we're just in Mina and Arafat on the 14th and the 15th. 16th, we're going to come back to Makkah, back to our hotel. So if we need to get anything, if we need to get changed, anything additional we need, we can get it. So it's basically 2 nights. So there's no point for 2 nights having huge amount of stuff, multiple ihrams, luggage with because you're just going to make it difficult, 1, for yourself, 2, for the people around you. The other question that was being raised is wheelchairs. Now, wheelchairs, MCDC as a service provider and as the other service providers, they are all there to help, to assist, to make our Hajj as smooth as possible. Intentionally, nobody does anything wrong intentionally to deprive somebody of having an easy Hajj, right? But there's certain things that we need to start understanding. So there's 10 service providers, actually more than 10 in Saudi. There's a B2C and a B2B. Now, each service provider might have anything from 10 to 20,000 to 25,000 people under their jurisdiction, under their supervision. So now, yes, they will help, but should we rely on certain things? This is me as a guide saying this. I believe we shouldn't, because if we're going to start looking for wheelchairs in Mina, people, you got to, once you, inshallah, you all get there, you'll understand the logistic side of it more in depth. Now, it's possible there might be wheelchairs there. There's a possibility there might not be wheelchairs there. So I personally believe that we should have this organized before. So either take the wheelchairs if you need a wheelchairs. Most of you have your family there traveling with you. Take the wheelchairs either from your departure country, or you can purchase them from Makkah or Medina if you need a wheelchair. So now we've moved on to the 8th of Zul Hijjah. Another thing is power banks. Power banks, that's something that's very important to have with you because we need our phones charged just in case we get lost and so forth. So that's something else that is a good idea. Uh, Sockets are available within Mina, charging portals, sockets. We can, people share them amongst each other, but they're available there. Now, going back slightly, now we've come to 8th of Zulhijjah. 8th of Zulhijjah, we're staying in Mina. Once we arrive in Mina, we're going to get obviously comfortable there. We're going to do our ibadah there. The main reason we're going there, prayers and so forth. And on the 9th of Zulhijjah, which is English date, according to the calendar, it's going to be 15th of June. The buses start departing after Fajr. So some buses do leave earlier. They start to leave from 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, but it's sunnah to leave after Salatul Fajr, and that's the time that we predominantly, the majority of Hajjis leave to go to Arafat. Now, as I said, in each camp, there can be up to maximum, I think, 5,000 people, maybe even more, maybe slightly less, but around that figure. So they have to shift. They have to shift the people from one place to another. So during that time, we don't know exactly what number. So there's like a system in an order that each group, who's traveling, who's next, number 1 to 30. We can be the first Hajis to leave for Arafat from our tents. We can actually be the last. Whatever it is, we will wait in our tents till your guide or myself or anybody who's under our packages, we notify you, okay, we got to go now. So you pack your bags, whatever you need for Arafat, you take your bags and we move to Arafat, inshallah. Now, just touching on another point from last year. So so the previous years, the male and female tents were literally next door to each other within the same compound. Now they physically don't touch each other, but they've made a segregation for the men and segregation for the sisters. So what tends to happen is that you're going at a gate. Now there's a gate. Obviously, there's going to be a gate for males. There's going to be a gate for females. This was last year, and I believe it's going to be the same this year. The buses arrive. Now, certain times what happens, obviously it's natural. Someone's going to say, well, my sister's over there, my brother's here, my dad's there, my mom's there. But the rush is so much that the ministry are there, the police, there's so many things happening at the same time that they just need people to get onto the buses. Now, if you're in a scenario where your female or your male companion is not with you at that time, don't worry, because you're all going to get dropped off exactly the same point. And something else I'm going to quickly touch on you. Once we're in Mina, or just before we go to Mina, we'll be given a specific camp number. We don't know that right now, but inshallah, before we depart for Mina, we'll know that. And that the same numbers will be on our buses. So that number drops us every location at the same place. So Mina to Arafat will be the same place. Arafat to Muzdalifah will be the same place. Muzdalifah coming back to Mina will be the same place. From our hotel to Mina will be the same place. So that's something that you don't need to worry about or panic. Nobody's going to be left behind. From there, we're going to move to Arafat. Once we move to Arafat, we're there from the time we arrive till the azan of Salatul Maghrib, till the azan of Maghrib. We do not pray Maghrib in Arafat. We're going to pray that in Muzdalifah. Again, once that time after Maghrib azan is done, we'll be given a number. You'll be in the blessed lands of Arafat. Here, people start panicking, stressing. That's the place where you've just been forgiven and reborn as a baby child, again, free from sin. So it's all about patience. Every single step is about patience. Patience is key. Patience is everything. Sabr, there's going to be so many tests put in every individual's path. We need to overcome them tests, inshallah. That's the whole point, right? So once you're in Arafat, from Arafat, after Maghrib, again, we're going to be allocated a time. Once we're allocated that time, we will be leaving to Muzdalifah. So we can be arriving to Muzdalifah at any time from Maghrib till about maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning because of the transport. So it can be any time from Maghrib till around 2, 1, 2 even in the morning, if we're the last people out of Arafat. In Arafat, so in Mina, on that date, on the 15th of Zul-Hijjah, will be provided breakfast in Mina. In Arafat, will be provided a lunch and a box meal to take to Muzdalifah. Last year, we even had additional snacks provided for us in Muzdalifah on the same day. Give me 1 second. So that will be provided in Arafat. Then we will be leaving to Mina, from Arafat to Muzdalifah. Once we get into Muzdalifah, Muzdalifah is open space. There are no tents. It's open. It's floor and sky, basically. So there's nothing like what was happening in Arafat and Mina, where we were provided tents. Once we're in Muzdalifah, last year they were provided, like carpet rugs were provided and sleeping bags were provided there. So in Makkah, there's like this really thin, like a prayer mat, they call it. You can get that. It's very easily accessible. You'll see once you're in Makkah, it's very cheap as well. So it's good to probably take that with you just to put it on the ground, just in case you need it. Sleeping bags at this precise moment, I don't think we should be too worried about them, or the umbrellas. If, for example, let's say lastminute.com, somebody decides, or last minute somebody says to us that we're not providing them, which I believe they won't. I'm very, very confident that they will. We can purchase them in Makkah, and even with the sleeping bags, it's more or less for women. Men should try to refrain from covering their head and their feet in Ihram. So you can even wear the top part of your Ihram, you can convert that into a blanket, you can say, where you can have that rest, or you can take something light with you. We will then collect the stones in Muzdalifah. So sorry, before that, we're going to pray Maghrib and Isha in Muzdalifah. And no matter what time we get into Muzdalifah, we'll pray Maghrib at that time, anytime we arrive. And we're going to pray Fajr there as well. Plus, you will collect stones. So there's 7 stones for the first day of stoning, 21 for second, 21 for the third, which makes it 49. It's better to have an additional 21, which makes it 17. Now you can put these, either we're going to be provided like a little small pouch that you can put the stones in, which normally is given to us in Mina. Let's just say, for argument's sake, we haven't received that. Then you have small drinking bottles. You can just put them there and put them back in your pouch or your bag, and just to keep them safe. After Fajr, we're going to be leaving from Muzdalifah to Mina. Now, our tents, European tents, or the name that was used lately is Al-Mu'aysam tents. We are the closest, the Europeans, the Nusak B2C Hajj portal, those who are residing there, we are the closest to Muzdalifah. So at this precise moment, the coaches take a lot more time. There's a lot more rush. A lot of people are like trying to queue up to get onto these buses. It's not like a grouping system which happened in Mina to Arafat or Arafat to Muzdalifah. It's like basically free for all. So at that time, we suggest that those who are able-bodied and can walk should walk back to their tents in Mina. It's roughly about 35 to 40-minute walk. Those who can't, then they should wait and get onto the transport. Eventually, everybody gets onto the transport. It's just a bit of patience that needs to be taken place. And we arrive into Mina. Mina, we rest for a short time, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, freshen up, make fresh wudu, have a little bite to eat or something. And then we will leave to Jamarat. Now, the Jamarat, we will just stone the big Jamarat on that date. Now, the date has now become, so we were 14th was the first day, 15th. Now we're on the 16th of June. 16th of June, we're stoning the big shaitan. We're going to hit him 7 times with our pebbles. Once we've done that, those who have booked your Hadi or Qurbani through Al Hijaz tours, we will give you a number before Hajj, not now, before Hajj. Everybody will have that number, nothing to worry about. That number that we're going to give you, you will text your names, either WhatsApp or text message is better, SMS or WhatsApp you can use. You will text, those who have paid us will text their names. I, Flan, for example, myself, Muhammad Zahid, I have done my stoning. Please give my qurbani or hadi on my behalf. That message will go to the brother who's doing it. Once he's done it, he replies back, done. At that time, you can then remove your hair and come out of ihram. Once we're at once, so I've gone fast forward here, so I'm gonna reverse a little bit. And once you've done the stoning, now again, I think we have the Ibis Hotel, Al Masa Roda, Al Umudi, Rahab Al Marwa, the Fairmont, Makkah Hotel and Towers, and Royal Majestic. So the 7 hotels. 3 hotels, Ibis, Amudi, and Roda, Al Masa Roda. This is walking distance. They're roughly 40 to 45 minutes walk from the Big Shaitan. So from there, it'll be an additional 40 to 45 minutes. That is the only way to really get to your accommodation. So you will, with your guides, will walk back to that accommodation. The other 4 hotels will stay with their guides. As I mentioned in the previous webinars, now the ministry are providing transport back in the tents. So if you wanted to have the ministry transport, we have to turn back on ourselves 45 minutes, go there. Maybe we'll get it on time. Maybe we're going to have to wait. We don't know. So we don't do that. We're going to walk from there down towards a signpost called Shara Sidki. Once we go down Shara Sidki, we'll get to the main road with your guide, with our local guides as well, and they will help to get a transport vehicle from there. Those who are able to know, by that time you will have some understanding of where you guys need to go. Those who are able and can make their way back to the hotel, you're free to do so. Those who are not will try to arrange the transport off the road, random vehicles, mainly coaches, and whatever the cost is, we normally split that amongst ourselves. Abzur, I think someone's asking to move the slides, but I'm not actually working off the slides. The slides we will share with you. I'm just actually working off from my own self. But let's go 8 Zul-Hijjah. We passed that. We're on 10th of Zul-Hijjah. So on the 10th of Zul-Hijjah, as I explained, now you're back at your hotels. The hotel, Al Masa Roda, Al Ibis Styles, and Al Amudi. Once you guys have arrived, obviously once your sacrifice is done, you shave your hair, you do ghusl, come out of ihram. You're going to be extremely tired at this point. It's good to get something to eat. You'll be hungry as well. You'll have something to eat and rest for a short period of time. And normally then around 3 to 4 o'clock on that day, we will again, for you guys, we will arrange transport. When we say arrange, we will try our best, because it's not government buses. They stop to run at that point, where we can get vehicle from the road, whatever the cost is. Normally the cost can vary from anything from 30 to 70 riyal, 80 riyal. It doesn't really go more than that, but it can be anything from that per person. So everyone splits it, pays whoever the bus person is. We just pay them, and then they will take you as close as possible to the haram. Once you get to the haram, and you then obviously will perform tawaf ziyarah. Once you complete your tawaf ziyarah for these 3 hotels, my advice is, and obviously I'm still thinking about this, but I will make a decision inshallah once we're there, is that those who are able to walk should go back to their hotels in Aziziyah and then walk from there back to the Jumrat, back to your tents from Mina. Those who are not able-bodied and cannot walk, now you have there might be 2 scenarios where you can't physically go back to Mina. Then you can go back to your accommodation and stay there if you physically cannot go back to Mina. Those who are okay but find it difficult, then we will probably have a meeting point near the haram, and again we will try to find transport from the road that will then take us to back to Mina. For those of us who are in the Fairmont, in Royal Majestic, in Rahab Al Marwa, and Makkah Hotel and Towers, you will, once you arrive, because your transport will be arranged again from the road from Aziziyah to, after doing the stoning, to your hotel. Once you arrive as close as possible, it doesn't mean physically they'll drop you outside the hotel. As close as possible, they drop, you walk back to your hotel. You're going to do your tawaf ziyarah, and you're going to come back to your hotel at a given time. and then we will try again to arrange the transport and get everyone back to Mina. This is the most difficult day of Hajj, and inshallah, if you guys all listen to us, we don't want nobody to get lost or get into a panic mode, because it's once somebody does get lost, unless you got some which we will share with you, and I think we'll send this out as well to everyone as well by tomorrow. We don't want no one to get lost. That's the whole point. I don't want nobody walking around 8 hours, 10 hours saying to us, look, I'm at X place, because Mina it all looks the same. Even for us, even for the locals, it's not easy just to locate people. But obviously we live in a modern era of GPS and Google Maps and so forth. So it's very, very advisable to always pin your locations, share them with your groups, share them with everyone. So, even if you do get slightly lost, we can obviously locate everything. That will be the 10th, inshallah. Once we get back on this is the next day, 11th of Zilhijjah, Abu Zar now. So that 11th of Zilhijjah will be the 17th of June. 17th of June is basically, we're going to be stoning the 3 shaitans. So it's a straight walk to the Jamarat and straight walk back. And then the following day is the 18th of June, which will be the last day of stoning. Once we've done stoning, most of us now will be familiarized on how to get back to our hotels. Those who are not will stay with the guides, or whoever needs help. Again, we will do the same thing that we did on the 10th of Zilhijjah. That is our Hajj more or less complete. I would advise everyone to watch my first webinar as well on this topic regarding this. So this is a brief that I've just done, because I've done 2 previously more than that. What I do want to do now is open up for any questions. So Abu Zar, there's no such thing that the questions been asked before. Let's try to get through every single question.
Do you want to go through the maps quickly as well?
These are, I think we're going to send this out anyway. So we'll send this out to every single person, so they can just see the hotels and the distance, walking distance, and so forth. So we'll send this. We're going to send this out, inshallah, to every single person tomorrow.
Because of the tents as well.
So I think we should just open for questions.
Yeah, so if anyone's got any questions they want to ask, we'll try to cover as much as we can, inshallah.
Yeah, we should. So I think there's 9. I'm not looking at the chat, so.
Someone's asking, how will Jummah prayers work if everyone is in Mina?
So basically, we have to be in Mina. Jummah is not for us on that day. Our main purpose is Hajj.
Someone's asking about upper room upgrades, triple rooms, double rooms.
For now, we've not received anything back. So my personal opinion is this: there must be a shortage of hotel availability for MCDC to not have replied back, because obviously they contract with hotels, and I don't think that will be happening. If obviously before we hear something before that, we can notify you guys. But I think that's something that we need to probably take out of our mind regarding rooms.
Will Riyadh Jannah, when will you know about the Riyadh Jannah bookings?
So basically, it's people that have landed so far, from my understanding, that have landed in Medina, Riyadh al-Jannah, Roda we'll call it, Roda permits have been given by the service providers. So we're hoping, inshallah, that will be the same procedure for us.
Have you got webinars recorded, i.e. this one and previous ones? Yes. They're all on the groups. And this one will also be put up as well. How much spending money should one bring?
So within all your packages, your breakfast and dinner is included, even days of Mina. So again, I've mentioned this before, the transport, depending on the hotels, the transports in the day of Hajj, I would say on average, a single person can cost anything from 200 to 400 riyal, maybe even 500, let's just say maximum if you're coming and going. But roughly about 250, 300 riyal, that you should just keep in mind for that. Apart from that, every single person's different. Some people buy X amount of gifts for people returning, some will not. So your breakfast and dinner, which is food, is there. Fluids in the hotel, so drinks and things like this, I think they just provide that at the time of meals. There's nothing additionally provided or within the hotels regarding drinks. There are certain hotels, especially Makkah Towers and Fairmont, they will give you water bottles within the hotel itself.
Yeah, so the next question is regarding, tawaf. When you finish the Jamarat and you come back to it, the initial sa'i that you do, is it better to do the sa'i first or do it after?
Yeah, Tawaf al-Qudum, which they call.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do that, then that you would have to do on the 13th of June. And it's best to do it after Zohr prayer. So between Zohr and Asr, have it complete. So by the time you come back, you get some rest and you're ready to leave just in case we have to leave earlier for Mina.
Who will we be texting once we've completed our Qurbani?
Yeah, so that's a number that we will provide to you before you leave to Mina. So we will share that across all the group chats. So right now, we're not sure whether it's going to be myself or it's going to be some other brothers who are going to be there. So once we decide who it's going to be there, we will then share that with you.
Someone's asking regarding, room arrangements. Will they receive them? How will they know who they're sharing with?
I believe that by tomorrow, within the next 2 days, the groups are departing on the 2nd of June. Their room arrangements more or less are more or less completed. So that will be probably shared, I'm hoping, inshallah, by Saturday before we depart. The other groups are still being organized because you have to understand MCDC they're not just dealing with 100, 200 people. It's a lot of people and it's not as easy as it probably looks or seems. So,
someone's asking, is it too late to pay for Qurbani? Can they still pay?
no, Qurbani, you can still pay us. That's no problem, inshallah. Brother Anis, I believe, is here. He has been messaging on the groups. He'll send another groups for those who haven't.
For all those who don't have his number, I have put it on the chat as well. I'll put it up again shortly. For women, can their clothes be washed in the washing powder? A soap powder contains fragrance. That's a tricky question.
During the days of Ihram, during the days of Hajj, you should obviously refrain from washing in anything that has a fragrance. You can wash something with just normal water as well. Like I said before, it's 8th of Zulhijjah and the 9th of Zulhijjah. It's technically 2 days, 2 nights.
Regarding smart passes, because obviously a lot of people have been
smart passes, we have not had much feedback on regarding why they are, but if they've been sent out to you, our advice is, sorry, I didn't mention this at the beginning, I should have, is to print this out. Print them out, take them with you, print them out, take them with you.
Are there free shuttle services from Mina to Makkah regarding the 11th and 12th days of Dhul Hijjah?
So the transport that is provided, it's a syndicate that's called Naqaba, which is under the ministry as well, that all the service providers have a contract with, and the payment that we've made for our Hajj is paid towards our transport as well. Now that's provided from Makkah hotel on the day we come to Mina. Now last year, I'm talking about last year they had buses leaving from Mina back to the hotel. But not to a hotel. Sorry, they had 2 points where the buses were going. One point was in Qudai, and one point was, where was it again? I've totally forgot the name now. But it was roughly about 40, 50 minutes away, walking distance to our hotels. Now that means we're going to walk another 45 minutes. If you look at this now, this is Mina, our European tents to Jamarat. It's roughly about 45 minutes. It's showing 1 hour, 2 minutes on this, but it's roughly about 45 minutes. That means we're going to walk this way to the Jamarat, and then you're going to walk back. Then you're going to have to wait for what time the buses are going to be available, when they're going to be available. We don't know. So we might end up sitting there for 5-6 hours for all we know, right? And then once we've actually got onto a bus, we're going to be dropped to locations which are further away from our accommodation hotels, because it's not logistically possible for the authorities to drop everybody in their specific hotel on the day. It's just too much traffic in Makkah. It's like very, very, you go from like A to B, we'll be sitting for hours in traffic. There's nothing nobody can do. That's where the patience comes in. So my advice is not to do that. My advice is you continue whatever we can find on the road, we share the cost. This is something that we've been doing every year for the last 17, 18, 19 years, apart from the years of Corona. We've been doing that every year.
Yes, someone asked about the 19 steps. There was a slight changes we made to it. There were very minor changes, but we're gonna put them in all the groups because I think it's very beneficial for the 19 steps of Hajj. Pretty concise. We'll put those on all the groups as well if everyone flies that, inshallah. How do you book road? That has already been answered. It's a good question. What is my guide's role throughout the journey?
Okay, so we got to start differentiating between the service provider and the guide. This is actually a very good question. Service provider is who we've paid the money to provide us our flights, our hotels, the transport, the food, everything. The guide is there to basically he has two aspects. One is there to help you guys for anything that you possibly need. Like we're now doing, this is something we're doing as guides. We're trying to make the journey as easy as possible, try to give you as much information as we can. And that's something similar that we will be doing there within Mina. We'll be running a daily the rules as well there. Even pre going to Mina, we'll be doing dars as well, going through the jurisprudence, and then helping you guys as much as we possibly can. Everything else is with the service provider. So we're in more contact with the service provider. So we're like an intermediary between you and the service provider at the same time as well. So we're always there, inshallah, 24 hours. We're humans as well. We can make mistakes. We might make slight blunders. So these are things that we're hoping that you will look past, inshallah, as well. But we will try have our utmost best 100% to facilitate everyone, but it's not easy, as you guys already probably know from the group chats and so forth.
I think this is a question we get a lot, regarding group flights, booking seats, and like beforehand, checking in beforehand. What's the scenario?
All group flights, you cannot block out the seats, as in you cannot go online and do it. There's a possibility that the systems might allow it to happen 48 hours departure. So let's say some of us are traveling on Sunday, inshallah, right? So from Friday night, just try, or from Saturday morning, try. If the possibility is there, it's fine. Otherwise, on the flights that we're traveling, majority of us there'll be a good 50, 60, 70 of us on each flight. Now, if you want to travel with obviously everyone wants to sit with their family members or the mahram, arrive early at the airport. That's number one. Number two, once we do get on the plane, we can probably then, within our own group, we can move people, around. And I'm sure most people will be helpful in doing that. There's another point that I have not mentioned, and I was going to raise this point, is custom flights. Now, this is a major question that we've been asked by everyone. Custom flights is basically you will catch your flight as you do a normal flight, have the things that I mentioned if you're transiting, which I've mentioned. Once you arrive at Jeddah Airport or Medina Airport, you will have to contact either the Ministry of Hajj, meaning Nusuk, or MCDC. Now, MCDC staff will be there 24 hours. Also, the ministry is there 24 hours. All you got to show them is your Hajj itinerary. I've traveled from so-and-so. I'm going to Makkah, or I'm going to Medina, or I'm going from Medina Airport to Medina Hotel, or vice versa, right? You will then show them your itinerary. They will then get you onto transport and get you to the hotel. And MCDC will be aware of that. Those of you that might arrive earlier than your guide, MCDC staff will be at the hotel as well. So they will have list of your names. They will know who you are. So you just give them your names. They will already have the rooms allocated, and inshallah, they'll give you the keys for you to be able to check into the hotel. I hope that answers that question.
If you haven't received the e-ticket, I think most people have. Someone has commented saying that haven't received the e-tickets. Please message me if you're on any of the groups. I will send them to you. Do we need Umrah payment for our first Umrah?
No, you don't need no payments for Umrah.
From Mina to Jamarat, walking then from Jamarat to Mina, is transport provided?
Sorry, say that again.
From Mina to Jamarat and then Jamarat to Mina, is transport provided?
There's no transport. There's physically no vehicles apart from ambulances, police, or the authorities. They're the only guy or certain vehicles that have permits that can take you from Mina to Jamarat. It's like a walkway. No transport can go in or out within these two locations.
No, my name of my husband on his visa is not complete. We are missing his second first name, which I'm assuming is the middle name. Would that be an issue?
So as long as the first name, when we say first name, some people like myself now, I have two first names. I have Muhammad Zahid. Now on my visa, it's only showing Muhammad. On my surname, it's showing my surname as correct. So the middle name, so we call them middle names on flight tickets and on the visa, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is your passport number. As long as you have your first name, for example, again, my name is Muhammad Zahid, my first name. So if I have my name is only showing as Muhammad and my surname Aslam, then it's fine. There's no need for Zahid in there. But the most important thing is that you should double check, which I believe you all have. And I don't think there are anybody with this mistake now. There were a few people that had this mistake where the passport number was wrong. But that's all been rectified. So inshallah, that's no problem.
Is lunch provided or not? I don't know exactly where, but
in Mina.
maybe it doesn't say.
So, okay, I'll rephrase. In Mina, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is provided. In Arafat, when we go to Arafat, we will already have our breakfast in Mina. It's like a box breakfast anyway. It's like a box with a few things in there. In Arafat, lunch is provided and a little box will be given for our meal for Muzdalifah. The hotels, all our hotels will have breakfast and dinner. No lunch in the hotels, only breakfast and dinner.
You know, when you're doing tawaf and you have to come back to Mina, is there any specific timing?
That we will share. That we will share with you. So on the day, your group leader, your guide, or myself, or in the group chats, we will have meeting points and at what time everyone should be at that meeting point.
Will we be using WhatsApp group chats and Hajj for all communications as we do now?
Now, this is another question. As you're all aware, we've got over 20, I think 28 WhatsApp group chats, which I'm probably admin in every single one. Maybe another 8, 9 brothers are as well. It can get overwhelming at times, right? So there might be times when we close the group chats because we can't answer. You know, if we're walking now and I get 30 messages, it's difficult to answer, right? You will have your guide's number, you will have our number, so you can always private message, direct message, or we may just leave them open. But we got to keep the group chats like for relevant stuff. For now, it's fine. You know, we talk as much as you like, no issues. But we may have it in a sense where only the admins can post. That's normally what we do with the group chats, because then it's relevant information that's been given. And if somebody doesn't really understand something, they can private message. Otherwise, we'll have like 1,000 messages and hard to keep up.
Will we be doing Tawaf Ziyara as a group?
So basically, at that time, when you guys go, the guide, depending where everyone is, the guide will go with you if it's possible. But at that time, most of us will know our bearings, will know our whereabouts, will know exactly what to do. So most of the time, it's better to just individually do that. Or if your guide's there, then yes, entirely up to you. The both scenarios are possible. Yeah, so there's a Nusak ID question. I've just seen it come up. So Nusak ID will be provided to us once we arrive in Makkah or in Medina. I believe most of them will be provided in Makkah. The other thing regarding passports. Now, up to now, from what we know, is that those who are arriving in Medina by plane, the Adillah, it's an institution in Medina under the ministry, they are taking passports. Those who are arriving in Jeddah, they are not taking your passports. But if the authorities ask for the passports, we always give them to.
Will tawaf be all done as a group?
I've just answered that. The first, that's entirely up to the people. They can either go as a group or with the guide, or they can go individually. There's people here that have done multiple umrah. They know exactly what they're doing, and they might not want to tag along and wait for 40, 50 people.
Which apps should we download for phone calls?
What I use in Saudi, Google Meet. Google Meet's the best app in my knowledge. It's clear, it's very accessible, and most of us, it's actually a very good app for everyone to download. SIM cards, the best place to get SIM cards, a lot of the hotels have actually got SIM card companies in the hotels. Don't get them at the airport. The reason why, if 10 people start wandering around for SIM cards and 50 people are waiting to get onto a coach, it's not nice. So the SIM cards you can get easily when you arrive at your hotel or just outside your hotel, they'll be there.
What is the number of the authority that we need to call once we reach the airport?
Sorry?
So who do we call once we reach the airport?
You don't call nobody. You got to imagine this airport, when you land, there's so many Hajis landing. Who's going to even answer a call? The staff will be there. They will be very, very clear. They'll be waiting for you when you go through the barriers. So you'll see the Ministry of Hajj, and you will see Nusuk, and you'll see MCDC staff there. They will guide you to where to go. They will arrange that for you.
Trying to see where the questions are.
Please answer most. There's another one for laundry. Laundry, you'll be that's something. There's plenty of laundries there that you have access to, and you can go give your clothes, get them washed, ironed, and pay directly there.
What is? Yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, none of the laundry is not included in the package.
Can we wear neck fan during tawaf? Neck pillows and neck fans are allowed. We did clarify with one of the shayu. He did mention that it's allowed. So neck pillows and neck fans are allowed instead of ihram. Because that question has been asked before.
A lot of the fake questions have been asked, answered before.
I think that one, there was a bit of confusion. A couple of people went to double check. Maybe yesterday, well, Sheikh Sarah did mention that they're allowed. What's the best SIM provider or recommended? So we are all on the same one.
There's three. There's STC, there's Zain, and there's Mobily.
I personally use Mobily for me myself anyway. I haven't used others, but Mobily is really good. Are there toilets in Arafat tents?
Sorry?
Are there toilets in Arafat? Someone's asking. Just quickly go over.
Yes, they are. Obviously, the toilets, there's going to be queues. Yeah, that's going to be natural. And I've already explained that in my previous webinars, that there are going to be queues. There's going to be queues at every single point. You're getting food, there's going to be queues. Going into a shop, there's queues. Getting onto a bus, there's queues. Sitting in a bus in traffic, there's queues. There's queues everywhere. That's something that nobody can do anything about.
Can we put our bags in the buses if we'd like to walk between sites?
Can you put bags in buses?
I don't know what the question means exactly. I think
no, don't. Obviously, when you go, let's say you're going from Jeddah to Makkah, or you're going from Medina Hotel to Medina Airport, your luggage is going to be carried in that transport. Or you're going from Makkah to Medina or Medina to Makkah. But anywhere else, you don't leave your luggage in the bag, no, because that bus will never come back.
What will lanyards be provided?
So again, the Nusuk IDs will be provided once you arrive in Makkah.
The khutbah on the day of Arafat to be said in Arabic. Is there any way we can hear this in English? That's been someone's spamming that message, so let's quickly answer it.
Sorry, the khutbah is in Arafat. The khutbah is basically, if you get to the masjid, then yes, you'll be praying behind the imam. Then you'll be able to hear it. Other than that, you won't be able to hear it. Some people have radios or certain frequencies that you can download on your app. I don't know exactly which one it is. Something that maybe you all can look into, and that normally has the khutbah live.
Can you book the train from Makkah to Medina?
The package includes your coach. Now, if you wanted to, that's entirely up to you. I think we've covered that in all our webinars previously. We as groups, we would prefer you to stay on the coach. It's a lot easier, door to door. The service is provided, and logistically a lot better.
Regarding meningitis, ACWI, someone saying that they took it in November 2022.
That's
so
fine.
it's valid.
November 2022, so now in
Yeah.
24, it's fine.
I think we've covered majority questions. A lot of them are repeat questions. Again, Qurbani questions as well. I think they've already been answered. What I'll do, I'll put Brother Anis's number in the group. So anyone that hasn't paid for Qurbani or wants to do Qurbani, Brother Anis's number is there. So
the smart pass question's been answered as well.
Can I use ATM at the airport in Medina?
Yeah, you can use your ATM, but obviously there's charges incurred on transactions, which just check with your bank beforehand.
Someone's saying, can you explain the 12-digit number? I think they're talking about the e-ticket number. That's the individual number for the airline. So when you're checking in or you're going online, you have that individual code. It's a unique number that everyone would have. Wheelchair assistance at the airport. It's best to go at check-in. Once you're at check-in, just mention it at check-in and they'll provide it. Usually that's how it works. Can we do Qurbani ourselves?
So obviously, if you can stay up, because the brothers who are going to go to do Qurbani, if you can stay with them, because look, this was something initially in the previous webinars before pre-booking or just after booking. I did mention, yes, you can go physically see it, you can do it yourself. Do it yourself, obviously, maybe 50-50 chance, but you can physically see it. I've mentioned that before in the previous webinars. But now, because in the previous years, we would have 4 or 5 brothers that would go. It's easy for them to get a car because they have to obviously get to the place where it's done. Now, if we have like 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 people, because of the numbers of Hajis that are traveling with us, it's going to be extremely difficult for us to arrange transport. Sometimes when I used to go in the previous years, we used to get onto like motorbikes just to get there because of the traffic. And then we have like certain times where we have slots that are allocated to us. So we have to make sure we're there. Otherwise, if we miss that timing, we're in another queue. Like I've mentioned before, it's queues everywhere. So yeah, we'll see, inshallah, closer to the time who would like to go and if it's possible, or if you guys can keep with us, see how many numbers there are.
Again, someone's asked, what's the actual process to be paired with your family in quad share rooms? Webinar check-in. I've been told to be really Saturday. How do you know who you want and need to be paired with?
Sorry, say that again.
So regarding rooms, someone's actually asking, what's the process to be paired with your family in quad rooms? How do you know who you want / need to be paired with?
So that information has, because a lot of the information Nusuk already have, MCDC have. So we're obviously waiting for them to give us the listing of the rooming, and then we'll share that and we'll see if we can alter some changes. We'll try our best to do that to accommodate everyone.
Can we go to Jamarat straight from Muzdalifah instead of stopping in Mina to save time?
Well, you would have to walk via Mina, so you don't need to stop in Mina. That's if somebody was able and they know what they're doing and they wanted to go from Muzdalifah straight to Jumrat, then that's fine. But you'd walk through Mina anyway, so because it's all the same area. So if somebody was willing to do that on their own accord, it's no issues.
It's a good question. For room upgrades, is it possible to get it while at the hotel if there are spare rooms?
If it's there, it's there. If the rooms are there.
If they're collecting passports in Medina, but we leave from Jeddah, how and when we get our passports back?
So that then your guide who will be there, he'll arrange that for you, inshallah.
What time will I need to leave to get to Jeddah Airport from Medina?
What time do I have to leave to get
To get
from?
to Jeddah Airport, so if someone's flying from Jeddah, but then Medina.
Repeat that again. From
So if
Medina
someone,
to Jeddah Airport or
someone
Jeddah
yeah,
Airport to Medina?
from Medina to Jeddah Airport, so if someone,
Again, if the transport's if the transport's through MCDC, then that transport will be provided, and they will give us the timings of what time the transport will arrive.
no, what temperatures are we expecting?
It's going to be extremely hot. So fluids, water. Again, we've been through this again, but it's going to be extremely hot. We're probably looking 40 plus at that time.
Someone's asking, why do we have to pay for wheelchairs when we've selected them on Nusuk site?
Yeah, I'm not. I never said that they're not going to give them. I'm just trying to put you in a scenario. If there's 5,000-10,000 people, probably more under one service provider. If there's 20,000, and now at that time we got to start being a bit realistic with ourselves. If there's that many times, it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. I didn't say that. I'm saying there is the possibility and the chance that it won't be there. Or who are you going to be chasing, looking for a wheelchair at that time? If it's something that you've booked through Nusuk, then inshallah, if they're going to provide it, they'll provide it. But I'm just trying to mentally have you prepared just in case.
Healthcare and travel insurance, should I book this separately?
So basically, every Haji who has a Hajj visa within Saudi Arabia, the healthcare is covered. Your flight is not covered, but within Saudi Arabia, the healthcare is covered.
What's the estimate time from landing at Jeddah Airport, then going to the hotel in Makkah?
It all depends. That's something that we can't really put a finger on. Pre-corona, it used to take us 8 to 12 hours. Last year and the year before that, I performed Hajj. Within 1 hour, I was realistically, after immigration, once I got my luggage, within an hour, I was out of the airport with the group last year that I had. So, but nobody knows, 100%. But Alhamdulillah, the last 2 years, it's been extremely smooth.
When we are departing from Medina back to, I'm assuming it says your home country, so meaning return flight, how will transport be organized?
So that's obviously, once we're there, we'll have the guide, and then we'll figure out who's
And
leaving.
how early do they need to be at the airport?
So being at the airport for your departure flights, you should be there minimum 3 to 4 hours before, because during at least 4, sometimes even 6, 5 hours. So that's something that the Ministry of Hajj is going to guide us on, the timings of departures according to the rush within the airports, because airports are going to be extremely busy, especially straight after Hajj. So that again, once we arrive there, they will tell us, the authorities, that you have to leave at this time.
After informing the person doing the Qurbani, roughly how long is it to wait so we could cut our hair for the next to confirm it done?
It can be 10 minutes, it can be 2 hours, it can be 4 hours, it can be an hour. But normally within an hour or two, it's normally done. Sometimes done quicker as well. 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Is it possible to make every long distance via bus because my wife is pregnant?
So there's certain parts of the Hajj that are virtually impossible for anyone to have transport. So walking from Mina to the Jamarat, from Jamarat either back to Mina or Jamarat back to the main road, that's something that you can't refrain from. Even walking, getting back, even getting dropped off to hotels, even when, like, let's say you're staying in the Fairmont or Makkah Towers, and on the day that we've done the stoning, we get transport. Even then, the transport's not going to go outside the hotel. The roads are going to be closed. So wherever the closest we can get is, we're going to get. And then it might be a 15, 20, 30-minute walk to our hotel. It might be less. We might have good luck and the roads are all open, or the policeman decides he allows a bus through the checkpoint. But again, we can't really say. So there's certain distance that she has no choice but to walk. There's no other way around it. I wish there was, but there isn't.
Does the WhatsApp work in Saudi? How will I just communicate with them?
WhatsApp calls do not work unless you have a VPN. even then, when you have a VPN, the VPN connects, disconnects. It's better to just download Google Meet. Even for your families that are here, Google Meet. If you have iPhones, then you have FaceTime. That works very, very well. Yeah.
How do they distribute the Qurbani meat?
So the Qurbani meat is known, sometimes given to the locals within Makkah who are not, in a position of buying Qurbani themselves, or it's distributed amongst other poorer nations as well. From my understanding, that is, but definitely it's distributed amongst people there as well.
We paid for Medina tour. What does it entail?
So Medina tour, that's something that I think Brother Fatih's mentioned earlier on as well. Today I saw it in one of the groups. That's something that they, MCDC, will put you through to the right people, because that's through Nusuk. Now, this is another question that's been asked by us, as in the guides. Are we going to provide ziyarat in Medina? Yes, we will. Again, I think it's going to cost 50 riyal a person, but that's something you will pay to the people that arrange the ziyarat in Medina. But we will do, so like, let's say if a group arrives on the 3rd of June, we'll ask who wants to do ziyarat. There's the person you need to contact. This time the bus will be ready. Pay him, and you can do your ziyarat there. In Makkah, we're not going to be doing that because it's really difficult to get the transport to your hotels.
At custom flights, when we land, do we do Umrah individually or in a group?
For custom flights, because your timings are going to be not probably matching with the guide, then you do it individually. Don't wait for no one.
Is it possible to tawaf on the mataf floor without ihram?
So they don't allow people with normal clothing to be doing tawaf in the mataf area, unless you have ihram.
When we leave from Makkah to Mina, will the bus take out luggage to the Ibis hotel for shifting package?
Okay, so this is the other question. It's a good question because I totally forgot about this. So the shifting packages that will leave from Makkah Hotel and Towers to Ibis or to Masa Roda, MCDC will arrange that for us. So when on the day that you shift, day before, we'll tell you the timings, what time to bring your luggage down. Your guide will tell you all that, and what time to be ready for the transport to arrive. Sometimes certain people are like, okay, we're going to just leave our luggage here. We're going to go to Haram, make sure our luggage gets on, or you can even get into a car yourself, taxi, and just get to the Ibis hotel. That's entirely up to you.
Our hotel is Makkah first, but we land in Medina. Will there be MCDC reps?
Again, in that scenario, you got to contact the ministry and the MCDC guides that are there, and then they will get you to Makkah, wherever your hotel starts. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that will be the scenario.
Is the photocopy of vaccination okay, or do you need the original copy?
It's best to have the original copy.
But if someone doesn't have the original copy, can they use a photocopy in that scenario?
No, because look, Allah knows best what will happen, but it's common sense as well, isn't it? Because imagine you do have the photocopy, tomorrow somebody might just say this is something fake that's just been made. That's possible as well. So we don't want to give you advice and then we get stuck over a simple certificate.
Will there be an option for ziyarah in Makkah?
No.
How do we contact our group leader? You should have the group leader's details on Nusuk, or if you're on the WhatsApp groups, he'll be on the WhatsApp groups.
Yeah, by now you should have your details of your guide. It's on Nusuk. We've got the guides in all the group chats. There shouldn't be a need where you don't know who your guide is at this time.
Someone's saying the guide keeps changing on Nusuk. I think there's something did happen.
Stick to the original guide that was prescribed to you for now. I believe they're just internal errors.
Someone's saying, once we get a SIM card, do we need to rejoin the WhatsApp groups? No, you don't. Your UK number, your USA number, whichever
Your
country code you're
French
from.
number, any number you have, it will. You're not going to change your WhatsApp. It'll still work.
So it'll still work on your UK number or your US number or any other country reference, etc., etc. Someone saying the flyer changed from Qatar to Egypt. Do we know why?
If it's look, there's, when people deal with so many amount of numbers of people traveling, changes will happen. They're not drastic changes. It's just something that we just got to move on with. Just to get to the point where we are. Imagine what every single one of us has gone through to get to this point. Alhamdulillah, and we've got our visa, we've got the ticket. We need to start thinking about the next step, and that's Hajj. The main focus is to perform Hajj, to go there, to be able to do Hajj, to get the whole purpose is for our Creator, right? For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's it. So we need to move off that subject onto the subject of let's get our Hajj correct. Let's do it. That all this hard work that everyone's put in just to get to this point, it's an achievement in itself. So it wasn't easy. So now we're just there. Only Allah knows who's even going to get to the plains of Arafat. Nobody knows apart from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So even to get to this step, now we got to start looking at the steps in front of us, because the days are just near now. How many days are we away from technically 2 weeks away from Mina?
I think some people are confused about how to find the guide. So when you do log into your Nusuk, if you go into my profile, the Nusuk, the guide's details should be there with the phone number.
But they'll be in your group chats, so you'll be in the relevant group chats. If you're not in the relevant group chats, so for example, your package is 1090HJ. Message Abu Zar. If you're not in there, he'll add you in there. You'll just have to show him proof of your Hajj itinerary, and he'll have you in there. And your guide is already there.
We already answered that question, but if you take out your UK SIM and put a Saudi SIM card, your WhatsApp will still work. And a lot of people nowadays, if you do go Saudi, for example, now they have eSIMs. So like if you go to Mobile via Dar al-Taqwa, they provide eSIMs, so you don't need to take out your physical SIM card. So that's an option as well. Should I carry my documents with me at all times? I think that's a good question. Quickly.
So in all the hotels, they will be safe provided. If they're not provided, you can leave them at the reception desk. I will tell you to keep your visa. You should keep with you at all times. The passport, because random checks. But your passports, money, you shouldn't be carrying it with you all the time. No.
This question keeps actually. Someone asked, "We know our guides, but they don't speak English. What should we do?"
Good question. There'll be people within that group chat. So, for example, unfortunately, there's some people traveling from France, from Holland with us who don't speak English, but there's people within that group who are French but do speak English, and they're more than willing to help, assist with the guide, and then vice versa. So if you have like a French guide, but there will be people within your group that probably speak French, so somebody will help you. So sometimes, alhamdulillah, we're all going for Hajj, right? So every step there is ajr, helping each other. That's what it's all about. Unity, one team. It doesn't mean your guide will be there for, it's not an easy job or an easy task for him. But if you guys will, the Hajjis themselves, as in yourselves, will also be trying to help other Hajjis as well. And that's how it works, one for all and all for one.
Visa is best to have it printed and on your phone, both, just in case you do lose your paper copy.
There's another question. Will there be 4 safes in the room? No, there'll be 1 safe, which you will share with the other people that are sharing with you.
Someone's asking, I'm assuming if done custom flights, will guide meet us at the airport?
No, this is something that we've answered multiple times. Your guide will not meet you at the airport. Ministry of Hajj, Nusuk, MCDC will meet you at the airport, not the guide. Guide will meet you at the hotel. Even at the time of check-in, you should check in with the MCDC staff. Just notify your guide, we've arrived in the hotel, safe and well. We're in our room. We've performed Umrah, or we haven't performed Umrah, or we have performed Umrah, and we're in so and so room number, and this is my name.
Who do we message about tour in Medina and when?
We'll arrange that for you guys once you arrive. Like I said, it's 50 riyal per person, but that you'll pay them directly. It's nothing that we will physically be taking any money. So it's them, and they will arrange the buses on a daily basis according to how many people there are.
We have 1 hour 45 minutes for stopover. That should be enough time to put Ihram on.
Yes.
Will MCDC be located at Heathrow Airport?
No.
No,
So
Jeddah.
your guide will be with you at the Heathrow Airport. That's the whole point of the guide, to travel with you from here.
And I would package flight from England. Would your guide be available at the airport in case there are any difficulties? I'm assuming that's for group flights.
Sorry, say that again.
Regarding for outward package flight from England, from the UK, would your guide be available at the airport in case there are any difficulties?
Yeah, the guide will be there, inshallah. Also, you still have our numbers. Some of our groups are leaving on the 9th. So even if you can't get through the guide, you can get through to one of us.
We've answered the passport question. I think you already answered it.
There's a question: does food run out in Mina? If food runs out in Mina, the authorities will provide food. They will bring food. Last year there was no issues in that. There was actually buffets which weren't there before, but yeah, food doesn't run out.
Covered the majority of questions. We can't find guide for.
So if someone's asked a question, I arrive in Jeddah and then I have to go to Medina, you don't need to wear Ihram because your intention is Medina, not Makkah. The only time you wear Ihram if your intention is to go to Makkah. There's someone who keeps, Brother Sajjad, I think it is, regarding money. I've explained again, every single person is different. Now, only you know what gifts. Some people purchase gold, bring gold back for their daughters, their sisters, their wives, their mothers. We don't know that. The amount of money, your food is included. If you're going to take lunch, for example, someone takes lunch, average cost on lunch, let's say, is anything from, depending on what you eat now. Now, somebody has a burger, somebody has a curry, somebody has a grill. Even that's different. So if someone has a curry, it can cost you 15, 20 riyal. Somebody goes to, has a burger meal or something, it can cost anything between 25, 30 riyal to 45, 50 riyal, depending where you eat. So that's something that we can't really answer. Otherwise, I'm going to have to sit down with every single person and say, what are you looking to buy? Your food is included. For the transport, I told you roughly anything from about 250 to 500 riyal will be, I believe, is sufficient for the days of Hajj. Apart from that, what you eat, what you buy, I don't know. So that's something that you're going to have to see what you need to take. A lot of places in Makkah do accept cards. Somebody just asked that. Some of these have just been repeated. I don't know if people are joining today or they're not listening to what I'm saying. Regarding ID cards, there's a question I just saw go regarding if it's lost. Please do not lose your card because they're not. It's very, very difficult to get another card. So these cards that will be given to you are like gold dust. Do not lose them. Or even when you do wudu, people do wudu, they take them off. You're going to have your lanyard and you just keep it on. Do not take the cards off because the cards are basically your entry into your tents, your entry into Arafat, everywhere, even on the buses. They check, especially with these last 2 years, people check that there's nobody who's not officially permitted to perform Hajj through the procedure. Then they do double, triple, quadruple check as well. They can be possible. So Tawaf al-Wida, somebody's asked, Brother Walid has, Tawaf al-Wida you do a day before, like let's say you're leaving for Medina on the 20th of June, you can do it on the 19th, the night before.
When are we going to get ID cards?
In Makkah. Before Hajj, they will give them.
We're also providing, which I don't know if you want to mention it, bags and scarecrows.
There's another question come up, I think Sister Anna, regarding luggage allowance for, we've put this up multiple times in the groups. Egypt Air, again, is two suitcases. You can check in, 23 kg each suitcase, so it can't exceed 23 kg. With Egypt Air, with Qatar, we've mentioned. With the Gulf, it's same as Egypt, and 7 kg hand luggage.
Yeah, so with Qatar, you can do 20, 20, you can do 17, 20, 23, as long as it equals
40,
40, and one piece doesn't exceed 23. That's it. When do we get tent numbers?
Tent numbers when we get into Makkah, before Hajj. So it's normally a day before.
Someone's asking regarding toiletries, are they permitted in the
Our
village?
sunglasses are allowed in Ihram. That's been cleared as well.
Yes, sunglasses are allowed in Ihram, yes. Someone's asked a question.
If you arrive early to your hotel from AZ, if you arrive early to your hotel before check-in time, you can leave your luggage in the hotel and go perform Umrah and then come back.
But whether is that someone's asking regarding, you know, they land on the 10th at 2:40 a.m. and the check-in or the package starts on the 10th. Will they have to wait till 4 p.m. to check?
Sorry, say that again.
So someone's flight is they land on the 10th morning at half 2 a.m. in the morning.
It all depends. It all depends on the room availability. It's possible they might give the key at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Might even be room might be open. You get there, they'll give it to you straight away. But keep in mind the 4 p.m. time. It can even be 6 p.m. depending on the checkouts that are, because it's Hajj. You know, like let's say the 10th of June is, I believe, 4th of Zulhijjah, right? So 4th of Zulhijjah is a day where Makkah Towers and the Fairmont, these hotels, they already have people already in there till the 10th of June. So then people are going to move. The hotel's going to get, every single room's got to get cleaned again. And then they're going to give you keys. So it can even be later. So it's possible it might be earlier. It's possible. That all depends on your nasib on that subtopic. But yes, you can leave your luggage there with the bellboys and you can go perform Umrah. You can sit around maybe in the haram or in the lobby of the hotel if you need to get some rest. But that's all to do with luck, basically.
Can you take more than 5 liters Zamzam?
The Zamzam is provided at both Medina and Jeddah airport, and it's maximum 5 liters per person. I think it costs, you have to pay 9 riyal or something there to purchase it.
Your Zamzam is also excluded from your baggage allowance.
Yeah, so your Zamzam is not included in your baggage allowance.
It's separate.
It's separate, so it doesn't include into that.
I think that's it. Everyone's slow down now.
Any questions we've missed?
Tried to cover as much as we could today.
You know, to everyone here, you can ask us anything you like. We're here at your service. My phone doesn't stop 24 hours. I get brothers from America, other countries. I have no issue. Message me whenever you like. But what does get slightly irritating, because we're humans as well, is repetitive questions. You know, we've answered a lot, and that means obviously you guys are going for Hajj. So if I was going, the first time I went for Hajj, you know, was back in 2001. I'm just touching on this, right? I did everything physically myself. I studied, I read the books, I knew exactly what I was doing, where I was going to go. I'm not asking everyone to do that. What I'm trying to say, there has to be some sort of personal awareness as well from yourselves. And a lot of these questions have been answered. There's multiple webinars we've done, recorded, and we've sent them out now. I thoroughly believe that you should watch them. You know, this is very, very important, because it's not fair on us that we're going to be asked the same thing within the next 10 minutes. Somebody's messaging us because he or she couldn't be bothered to actually sit there for an hour or so, or 2 hours, and, you know, watch the webinar, which will make it easier for you in your preparations of Hajj? Anything, any questions that we missed out? The mother app, you don't need to worry about that.
My guide will have reached me, yes. We've already answered that as well. Qatar Airways 30 kg times one piece per person. It depends on your ticket. For the group tickets that we have, the 40 kg times one piece. But if you're in a custom flight, it might differ. So just double check on your ticket and the airline.
So yes, the mother app, MCDC does use the mother app, MADAR. So we'll send this information in the group chats regarding mother app tomorrow, exactly when we know exactly what it's regarding.
Flight reservation not coming up. We already answered that. You just check 24 or 48 hours before.
So basically, the mother app has information regarding the Qibla. So it's probably a good thing for everyone to download them. I've just been informed by Brother Fatih that yes.
I think that's it. I think we could.
It's like time of prayers, Qibla direction for the mother app. So I don't want to miss any questions out, even if it looks like something that we've, it's basic, we should answer it because it is the last one we're doing. So if there's anything that
when will we know our room partners? I think it's been answered before. Just
so basically regarding the room partners, we're just waiting. Hopefully for the earlier flights that are departing in the next couple of days, we'll be sharing that with you. And then as the flights get closer and each one departs, hopefully maybe before 24 hours or so forth, we'll be sharing that information with you as soon as we get it passed on to us.
Is booking available for high-speed train from Medina?
Again, we've discussed this. If it's available, it's available. But we would tell you to get to book. To travel via coach.
Can we put a Mahram man in a room with the women?
Sorry.
Can we put a Mahram man in the same room as the women? So I'm assuming wives or sisters.
Yeah, if it is like that, and if it's been sent to us previously, we've already forwarded it on. The possibility is that it might happen, and there's a possibility it might not, because you have to understand regarding the rooms as well and the beds, how it's located. Sometimes the mats in having everyone with the bed doesn't really add up. So sometimes you might have to split from the females, and the males might have to split vice versa. So yes.
I'm from New York, and my flight is from New York to Belgium, or Belgium to Jeddah. Can you please tell me where we should wear the ihram?
So if you're flying from in Belgium,
You put your ihram in Belgium.
Is it a direct flight from Belgium to Jeddah?
It doesn't say that.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's a direct flight.
Yeah.
If it's a direct flight, you can put from Belgium. Or even if it's Saudi Airline does have a praying area at the back of the plane where you can change, although it does get awkward because a lot of people do change in there. So I would say follow my instructions, which I gave at the beginning in Belgium. So you pray your nafil in Belgium, put the bottom half on, keep a thobe on, so you can actually go onto the plane on Saudi Airline. I'm saying all you have to do is basically take the top half off.
This is a good question. MCDC 1062. They booked a flight from Manchester, and their guide arrived a day before.
Sorry, say that again.
So someone booked package 1062 HJ, which is flying from Manchester. The flight is, I'm assuming it's, Al Umri, that flight.
Yeah.
So obviously the guide's going to be arriving one day before them. They're asking who will be at the hotel to help them with the Umrah, if anyone, and what do we do at the airport as we are not with.
At the hotel, they would have to if the guide's already done the Umrah, the guide won't be doing Umrah every day. He'll have other things to do, especially closer to the time of Hajj. So they will have to go perform Umrah themselves.
So I'm assuming the fly down to Al Umri, they just jump on any bus, yeah?
So yeah, so this is something we'll try to get in touch with them and see if they have any guides traveling out on the same day. If not, you'll just go like custom flight MCDC staff at the airport. Ministry of Hajj, Nusuk will be there, and inshallah they will get you to the right destination.
Turkish Airlines, where to wear Ihram? You would wear the Ihram in Istanbul. Because that question's been asked multiple times as well, too. So I'll cover it. Confused how to find the bus from Makkah.
So Muhammad Muzammar has said, will MCDC find me? No, you will find them. So they will be there with allocated jackets on. So the Ministry of Hajj will be there, Nusuk will be there, MCDC will be there. So any of them three, you'll see them there. As you depart from the airport, after immigration, you go to baggage. After baggage, you're going to come out to arrivals hall. They will be there. They will be standing there at the beginning, and you just need to get in touch with them, and they will guide you and help you, inshallah.
If we transit in Cairo, do we pray 2 rakat nafal for the after changing Ihram?
You can pray. You can pray them after changing ihram or even before. That's entirely up to you.
And that's it. There's no one else asking any questions. Brothers will already answered the question, but quickly, will families be seated together on flights?
Again, 48 hours. If it's a group flight, check if you can check in. If you can, alhamdulillah. If you can't, arrive to the airport earlier to see if you can get seated. And then even if that's not possible, then see amongst our group if you can rearrange with someone. I'm sure there'll be single brothers who are willing to do that for families. That's the only 3 scenarios that will be possible.
Any female guides for the sisters available?
They will be within the Mina tents. There will be sisters that will help other sisters.
For able-bodied people, should we walk from Arafat to Mina or go with the group?
So we're not going to be walking from Arafat to Mina, Mina to Arafat. Is that what you said, right? So from Mina to Arafat, you should actually just come by coach. That's my advice, especially if you haven't done Hajj before, because we don't know the exact location of our tents in Arafat till closer to the time. From Muzdalifah to Mina, they're able-bodied people. We're going to be having the guides. We will have flags. We'll have other things that who will walk with you from Muzdalifah to Mina.
For people having to change Qatar, because obviously Qatar flies a short stop, normally 45 minutes or an hour. Can we pray 2 rakat of Ihram prayer in the plane? Or
before from your departure airport?
You can pray before, better. Can you take cabin bag to Mina, or does it have to be... Oh, I could not see the questions, disappeared. You can make intention on the plane once they announce the miqat. From Belgium to Jeddah, where shall we Ihram? Where in Belgium? Can you take cabin bag to Mina, or does it have to be a backpack? It can be a cabin bag. A small cabin bag should be fine. As we know from last year, sleeping bags are provided. We don't know this year, but most likely
inshallah they will be. My gut feeling, and from what I've heard, they will be provided. But again, once we're there, we'll be able to tell you, because everyone's going to arrive there. So I don't think there's a need of buying sleeping bags.
Again, for Roda would be group bookings. A lot of people are asking the same question again. Clarify. And that's it.
Anything else? Anything else anybody needs to ask? We're here. And it's really sad to see that we have 1,100 odd people traveling with us, and there's only 300 people who've joined, which means that's not even 25%, or just 30, yeah.
I think a majority of people are going to watch the recording.
Well, I hope they do, inshallah.
It'll be a long recording.
So MCDC staff will have jackets on, clearly labeled with MCDC on there. Regarding Roda, inshallah, MCDC will provide group permits.
Cabin bag should be fine to take to Mina. Small cabin bag.
You are allowed to wear a watch during Ihram, yes. Smart Pass is something that's on Nusuk that's been provided this year, as I believe it's getting through immigration a lot quicker in Saudi Arabia. So please, if you have it in your emails, print it out, take it with you. The question regarding Tawaf, if we're arriving in Makkah, that's been answered. If you're arriving in your group, you can do it. If you want to do it individually, that's up to you. If you're going on custom flights, then you'll have to do it individually. I think we're done, right?
Yeah, I think we're done.
I think anybody?
Is contact for Anis and Adahiya all the same? No, they're two different things. Brother Anis is with the Asfal Al-Hijaz stores, and Adahiya is a different company. Again, I'm going to put Brother Anis's details in the group and the chat. So anyone that wants to book Qurbani.
I believe even those who arrive slightly late, then the group, inshallah, will try to wait for everyone to do the permits. But if you do arrive later in Medina and you a day later than the group has arrived, or a few hours later, then MCDC will inshallah accommodate us, inshallah.
Quickly, because I already answered this
question of cabin bag to Mina, or does it have to be? Cabin bags are difficult. I've seen it over the years when people are pushing them with their trolleys, because you got to remember these same bags you're going to take back with you back to the hotel as well. You're not going to leave them there. I've been asked a question by Brother Ghulam regarding toiletries. Now, we've had many webinars on that previously as well, where fragrance toiletries are obviously not allowed, not permissible. These are days of Hajj. You know, the whole purpose of Ihram is to look at the lowest possible state in front of your Lord. You know, if you ain't going to have a deodorant for 2 days, it's not going to hurt. If you're not going to brush your teeth for 2 days, that's, you know, in the olden days, I don't think they had deodorants when they were performing Hajj. They didn't have, you know, facilities of washing their hair with shampoo that doesn't have fragrances. I would leave all these behind. What's the need? It's 2 days. The whole point is to look in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you are nothing, like we're zero. What are we in reality? That's the whole purpose. So staying away from deodorant for 2 days, it's fine. Not washing your hair for 2 days, it's fine. That's the whole point, that in reality, what are we? We are nothing. And that's what we're trying to be in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the plains of Arafat, that look, we're just in these 2 clots. We've gone through this journey just for you. That's it. That's what it all comes down to. Miswak, use miswak instead of toothpaste.
One Brother Said Hussein, I replied, I think I've answered this question twice, and I've messaged it. You can wear the Ihram in Belgium. If you're flying from Belgium to Jeddah, you can wear the Ihram in Belgium. Yes, you can use miswak, yes. Travel adapters or Barry packs, yeah, you should take them. Yes, you can. Women can use toothpaste or also miswak. Yes, there is phone charging in Mina camp. It'll be the 3 pins. Regarding lotions containing alcohol, regarding nicotine patches, it's best to ask. I think these have been answered in our, you know, fiqh, ahkam of Hajj webinars with the shayukh. So it's best to refer back to them videos. Or if you have any shayukh on your package, you can ask them as well.
Most of our group chats, we've got scholars on there, so questions like that you can ask anytime you wish. It's not a problem.
Medina untrained, no, will be by coach. You don't need to show any QR codes anyway.
Passports you should keep. You should, if you're once you're in, if you have the physical passport with you and you're in a hotel, you should leave it in your hotel. Shouldn't carry it with you. I think we're done.
That's it.
Inshallah, jazakallah to everyone, and inshallah, hopefully, I'm more than likely I will see everyone in Makkah, and the other brothers who are going earlier to Medina, they'll see you there. We should pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes this journey easy for all of us, get us to the plains of Arafat, and the whole struggle that we've done till this point, and what we're going to do in the future, that Allah accepts all our good deeds, and most importantly, accepts our Hajj, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan for everyone as well for attending again. We hope it was beneficial for everyone. We decided to take a bit extra time to answer everyone's questions so we don't miss anyone. And I hope it was beneficial for everyone. Again, it's going to be recorded as well. So if anyone wants to refer back to anything, they're free to watch the recordings as well, inshallah. So that'll be put up in all the groups. Again, jazakallah to everyone. And sorry if we missed out any questions as well, just in case we did. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.